Do we have sound now? Check, check, check. Am I all alone in this world? Okay, well, I'm not going to do that all over again. Somehow the audio got deleted from my streaming software. So far, all of my streams have had some kind of technical difficulty because I'm an idiot. I apologize, and thanks for hanging in there. Okay, anyways, if you can't tell, this is a crew cab. I'm giving it away on Instagram when it's done. It's an FMS K10 frame stretch. Don't forget to put roof ribs on your crew cabs. Okay. Let's talk TF3. Well, one second on that. How do you do roof ribs? It's just styrene strips. I just glue them on. Just find a picture and copy it. So a little update on this Chevy. It's a 1/9 scale Chevy truck. This is going to be a replica of my full-size broken Chevy. So yeah, the big truck's broken. The other day it was running hot, radiator's broke, so I got the radiator out and I'm getting it recored, and then I'm gonna fix a bunch of other stuff on it while the engine's apart. Cooling system, fuel pump, all that jazz. So in the spirit of broken trucks, I still have to cut in this piece that is no longer made anymore because it was really bad. The company or whatever, the guy doesn't do it anymore. That's just to update it to a late model. So I got one shot on that. But that's where all the places that it broke when I was trying to remove it from the support that they sent it with. Oh, cool, I got a spammer. How do I get rid of that? I'd use them. Unless anybody's interested in naked girls. So that's going to be a chore. A really rough print too. Cap back on. That is from Mod 19 RC, as well as this entire printed bed. You can get those files from the Mod 19 RC My Mini Factory. Print it yourself. I think it's $20 for all the files. Long bed and short bed. Okay, enough Chevy talk. So first of all, what do you think of my super custom Trailfinder 3? It's a bad angle, I know. What do you think of that? Did you guys watch the upgrade video? The Totally Serious. And you know, I've been tagging RC 4-wheel drive on Instagram and stuff, and they're not sharing it. I don't know why. You know, it's kind of rude that they don't like my truck. After all the units I sold for them after the review. Tires do have too much tread. These were the smallest 1.55s I had, possibly the smallest ones that have ever been made. These are the dirt grabbers. So, I got that double bumper going on. So we're going to lose that. Why does it have go-kart tires on it? For extra traction. Big lift and small tires is ultimate off-road performance. We'll put the dashboard, just the dashboard, in for now. I mean, it's cool it comes with the dashboard, but like it doesn't have a seat or anything. And why even include a dashboard? But yeah, if you haven't seen my stupid TF3 upgrade video from, I don't know, last week, 2 weeks ago, watch that and this will make more sense. Like the rusted rear fenders that are plastic in real life. So don't ever rust these on your model. They shouldn't be. That's the joke. put the receiver cover back on. It was a sick mod I did, so you could see the wires. Like, they couldn't come up with a new receiver box. This old thing. Let me ask you this. Do any of you have a Trailfinder 3? I don't think there are many out there. Did you see the RC Truck article on the Autopian site? Nope. I've never been to that particular internet before. What's it about? RCs? Why am I downgrading the TF3? Because it makes all my other trucks look bad. Like, it's so capable and handsome that all the other trucks are crying and sad. So they said they were going to leave if I didn't do something about this. So I'm going to take it back to less than stock. I'll be taking leaf springs off. I'd like to probably get rid of that transmission entirely, or at the very least that plastic humongous diesel sized engine cover. Yes, I have one for sale, a TF3 limited edition. Why are you selling it? South Florida RC crawlers. They are using your YouTube thumbnail for their article. Oh! Well, I will have to head over there. Unless somebody wants to do it on my behalf. Thanks for the heads up. I will see what they can do. And I will demand money. Pictures of Smicken's Folly with no credit? Upgrade video is hilarious. Thank you. Most people seem to get the humor. There were a couple people with bad attitudes that didn't appreciate it. They also didn't like my review video. All pics were credited. Terrific. Maybe that's why I'm so famous now. Taking off these plastic bumpers. So I don't know the actual plan I have for this. I'm committed to try to make it better. I'm not going to give up on it. But it needs a lot of work. Yeah, if you have a TF2, you really don't need a TF3. Same basic thing, like same axles and all that stuff. And if you were like wanting it for the scale engine, there's other offerings. You know, there's other people who can sell a better looking scale accurate engine you could put in your TF2 or something instead of this. You do an interview. Oh, okay. I know. Now I know what's going on. I was contacted on the Scale Builders Guild forum from a user, and they said they wrote for a website, but I don't think they ever mentioned what website it was. And they asked if they could write about Smiggin's Folly and whatever. And I said, yeah, use whatever you'd like. So now it's starting to make sense. It's been a very long and hot week. My brain isn't functioning correctly. I can use that excuse for no audio in the beginning. Am I still loving the drone? Yeah. That's fun. I played with a little bit. It's been too windy here the last couple of days. The little toy drone. It doesn't do well in wind. But I can see the appeal. Especially if it was like a good one. I can see how people could have fun with them. But they're scary. RC 4-wheel drive Stomper chassis. Oh, that had... What chassis did that? That had a TF1? Was that the original Trailfinder chassis? And the Stomper, it had a Lexan first gen Toyota body, I think. That was a bad truck. The Stomper. Can't remember what tires that came with. It might have come with the original 1.9 Rock Stompers. Those were probably the worst tires ever made. But it was the early days. Drones are good for trimming trees. I couldn't believe those plastic wings didn't completely explode when I crashed it into all those evergreen trees. So if anybody wants some TF3 or TF2, they should work at TF2, body lift plates, you let me know. I can send these to you. They're custom. My steering upgrade. I'd hate to have to remove that. I think it made it worse. I mean, better. No, actually, in the review video when I was driving, it like locked up the steering and possibly, I don't know, it was like, I guess browning out. I don't know. The servo, and it wouldn't even turn. It wasn't bound up, but it was like freaking out the electronics. I don't know what was happening, but it was hilarious. So if you notice in the review driving video, I don't turn much because the steering was broken. To me, I should copy this truck. More spam. Does Tamiya still make the high lift, or did they like discontinue that so they could re-release the Bruiser and stuff? That was one of the first scale trucks I saw that made me want to get into scale. I've always wanted one. I will send this body lift to anybody they want for free. And Moose jawed it. Does he have a track record of no audio? That just reminds me of that one comment somebody left me. They called me a weird mute. Now I'm living up to it. Well, the joy with these spacers, if I had more of them, they're infinitely stackable. So I filed for the patent on that. See, so you can just stack and stack, and you can get that body up as high as you want. Put these back. I think that's a... I don't know what this was. That's RC4 drive something. Back into the junk drawer. Yeah, it does kind of look like a semi-tractor engine. As big as a Cummins. 6 in a row, ready to tow. Stay organized. Okay, what's next on the... Take some springs out. I put an extra spring into the pack, but I'm going to take out at least 2. There's an upgrade over a TF2. They come with U-bolts. Not really a performance upgrade. However, Pro Engineering, they says, what is that? An engine for ants? Needs to be at least 3 times bigger. The biggest ant in the world, maybe. This is too big for Uncle Albert. It's even bigger than a Sasquatch. Look at that. It's as big as an entire Sam Squanch. Everything pretty dead around work. No, work has been very busy. I am deceased myself. very tired. So I left the main leaf and a medium size in. I'm going to take the small one. Don't the shackles go behind the front axle on a 1-to-1 Toyota mini truck? Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Not all full-size trucks, but Toyota trucks, pickups, yes. Shackles should be here, not here. If it were an FJ40, I believe it could be here, or a Jeep CJ or whatever, but not a Toyota. And not a square body. If this kit came with a Sasquatch, it would have been either 12-inch long Sasquatch, or it'd be like 4 inches. It'd be in the wrong scale, just like their short-lived action figure series. Rick, Keith, Cutter, and there was one more. What was his name? Stinky. Toby, do I have any pics of that truck I cut the fender off? Yeah, long ago. It was a black truck. There's a build thread on Scale Builders Guild. Otherwise, you gotta like look back through my Instagram to like 2016 or 2015 maybe. It was a long time ago. I converted a Hilux body into a 3rd gen Toyota body comp truck. It was a nice truck. Cool. So I will be switching that business around. Why is that so loose? Something's falling apart already. I think a bolt fell out. What about that? Anyway. Once I get this spring taken out, I'm gonna see about taking this engine cover off, because I would like to take the steering servo and put it on the driver's side, like here, ideally, so the steering can come from the correct side for someone who lives in America, or second best, I'll put it in the front. But I would like to get it here and lose all this goofy stuff. Oh, thanks, Mr. Small Factory. That makes more sense. I see you went to the same engineering school as they did. transmission and whatever is heavy. I think I stripped something out. What else is new? Hello, everyone. When righty-tighty becomes righty-loosey. Oh yeah. Cross-threaded, yeah. That's probably why it's stripped in the first place. I think I cross-threaded it, but we're able to make a cross-thread conversion kit so you can cross-thread all your bolts. I've built a lot of RC four-wheel drive kits. I've built a lot of kits that didn't have a lot of holes tapped that were supposed to be threaded as well. I had to tap them myself. Remember the Beast 2, the 6x6? That had a lot of problems. I remember having to drill and change the locations of holes for things to line up correctly when I was assembling it. That was unfun. Well, why would they fire the person who designed the high lift? It's like the pinnacle of design. They could never afford him anywhere else. A master designer like that. How does this come off? Those are little bolts. Too big. Too small. Oh. So if we... Why do they gotta make it so tough? I just want to take this off. Well, let me ask my viewers, what should I have an idea of the end result of what I want to do with this, but what do you think I should do to this TF3 in terms of build to make it stand out, more interesting? Because I've built a lot of the Hilux trucks, so I've done it just about every way. Second gen Dodge. I want to keep this body, but do something to the body to make it more interesting. I want to keep it Toyota themed, or at least like mini truck themed. Maybe like Chevy Love or Ford Courier or something. I haven't really scratch built a body in a while. Datsun pickup, 620, 720, what were they? Those were two different ones. Something like that, maybe. Yeah, something 70s, Japanese. Stretch to make an RV. I've kind of done that already. Are you quoted to be saying the new TF3 is a game changer and will put Axial out of business? No, I said, well, I don't think I said that, but if I were to say something, I'd say the new TF3 is a game changer and will put RC four-wheel drive out of business, if you were to quote me. The C2X was Axial's true downfall. Yeah, that didn't go as planned. It was a parts bin truck to try to compete with better engineered vehicles, so don't really have a leg up there. 84 Dodge Ram, Magic School truck. Those were good looking trucks for Dodges. Those were good. Leaf springs, it's awesome. Mitsubishi Mighty Max. Yeah, not a lot of Mitsubishi love. Bobby's too kind. It will be awesome. I can guarantee you it will not. It'll take me 5 years to do. I'll get sick of looking at it on the shelf. I'll rush and finish it, cut corners, and hate it. $720 Datsun, yeah. Marlin Crawler. I had a Marlin Crawler TF2. It was good. It was simple. Definitely better than the TF3. I had a lot of fun with that. I beat on it pretty good. That was probably their best effort. It was semi-competitive as a Class 1. Do you think a TF3 with most of the leaf mods we do to TF2 would perform similarly? Yeah, it would. In terms of suspension, it would be the same. It's not going to make it steer any better if you still have this, but yeah, I'm going to do all the necessary leaf mods, the Chino mod, flip the shackle around on the front, fix this shackle angle. See, we have, like, it goes in, which I know on my review I said that was a good feature, but it's really not. So that was a problem they had on the TF2s, and then they released a piece that flipped it, and now I'm looking at it. Now this came RTR, but I'm thinking if I were to flip this side with that side, it would put the pivot there and correct this issue. But then they might lock out when they're compressed. So that'll be something to tinker with. I want to get this much lower. I don't want to have to do spring under to get it low, because they weren't in real life, the 4x4s. But I know a lot of people, they have to go spring under to get that ride down. Because the leaf springs have too much arch in them. It just lifts the truck too much. So maybe I can figure a work around. The Midnight TF2, that's the what? The black, all black? I guess that makes sense, right? It's the all black one. There were no special performance things to it, right? It was just an appearance package. Black body. But if you like it, that's all that matters. For stock trucks, their paint is pretty good. I had that Back to the Future one. The paint wasn't too bad until I trashed it. And then I bobbed it. And I drew on it. And then I drove it into Lake Michigan. Well, it does kind of look bruiser, but bruiser kind of looks Toyota. Unless you're referring to the steering. But if it was a bruiser, it'd be like back here, right? It'd be like... Whoop, whoop, whoop. Hit the like button. Like, share, subscribe. Thanks for watching. Actually, I'd like to thank everybody. I have achieved my goal of reaching monetization. I finally got the amount of views up. So thanks, everybody. I haven't become wealthy yet, but now I can afford an extra order of French fries per month. Okay, now the suspension's like real sticky. And that's hitting the steering link is hitting the tie rod is hitting the massive high capacity oil pan. That will have to be upgraded to something else. Thanks everybody. Thanks for watching. Enjoying the channel. It can be a little weird at times, and I'm still getting used to talking to camera because I really don't like to talk. I'm forced to interact with people all day long. Sometimes I like to come home and not talk, but anyway. Whoa, thank you, Toad Daddy. Here's for a bag of ketchup for your flies. Thank you. I could buy a whole bottle of ketchup. Wow. That was my first ever. Thank you very much. Really good at showing excitement. Oh, Mrs. Turks and Jerps is home. Hello. Can you put the engine cover in the garbage? I don't think the trash people would accept it. They'd probably send me a fine. Well, let's get this off. That'll be a good ending point for this evening's entertainment if I can get this thing out and thrown in a dumpster. So let's just go for it. Oh, okay. Battery's charged. I've been charging this. All the popular YouTubers have one of these. There's a trash can. Yellow tools. Yeah, what's up? I want to be caught dead with that red stuff. This is the only yellow tool I have. Yeah, nobody really likes the engine because it's a little oversized, out of scale. And the TF3 comes with the scale engine, but the body doesn't have an opening hood, so you can't even see it if you wanted to. And it's also, well, one of my little things, it doesn't have any extras, accessories or whatever, you know. There's no exhaust manifold or intake, no oil filter, the front business. No radiator. I'm sure there'll be kits and things coming out for it, but that's like stuff they should have like at the beginning. What? Maybe I'll just take all the front suspension off and put like a semi-truck front axle, or like maybe dual front wheels, and make it like a machine gun and post-apocalyptic. And I'm just kidding. I'm not into that stuff. But it's okay if you are. Do I like my red vacuum? Yeah. I think it's worth it. That's this particular unit. It's I chose it over the pack out one because I didn't have like room for that and like the hose and stuff. I like the little handheld thing. I wish it was a little more compact, but it's great. It's perfect for sucking up styrene junk, and it was just a little over 100, I think. It's not too bad. If you got all that other stuff, you already have the batteries. So that was what was holding it all together. The shackle is holding the front end together. together. Sandwiches. Screws in the bottom of the center skid. That's probably, yeah, holding the transfer case. I'll get onto that next. Matt got it off. Did he? So I can blame him for if this doesn't work. He took it apart. Because this was his truck. I gave him $950 for it, which I thought was a fair price. He assured me it was a good deal. Oh, good God. So what do you think? I should just throw an axial 3 gear in it and call it a day? That's loose too. This thing's a mess. Oh. That servo horn's like completely fallen out. When did I find out Matt would like to get rid of the truck? As soon as he bought it. No, we were talking, and I'm like, oh, I want to try that thing, and I wanted something to review because it's a new thing to me. And I'm like, I'll take that TF3 off your hands. He couldn't get it in a box fast enough. $650. That was the U.S. price. $950 was probably the Canadian. You know, it fluctuates daily. You know, exchange rates. A bargain at any price, though. Yeah, I could try to put the VFD in it. However, the outputs are on the wrong side. Well, I could put Vanquish axles under it and then a VS410 chassis, and then I have a pretty sweet RC four-wheel drive. Behold, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 1/4 squares. Look at that. It's quite a unit. The I miss the Chevy? Yes, earlier when I had no audio and you see just quiet pointing. But yeah, that's at the beginning. You could build a TF3 out of a Bruiser clone and some TF2 axles for cheap. Yeah, or, well, I have a couple Bruiser chassis here. I have a Bruiser chassis with the old RC four-wheel drive Bruiser Ruptor axles, and then I have one with the modified Bruiser axles, the Rummy mod, where they're converted to 12 millimeter. I have two of those, so I could build a Bruiser out of a Bruiser eventually. Yes, it would look right at home in a semi-truck. 14 scale. I like that it hits. Which I guess would be like the crank or something down here. Harmonic balancer. I don't know. So yeah, there's that. Yeah, Ford BT. Got that torque. Oh boy. Moment of truth. No. It should have made it look like a Cummins and put a 2000 Chevy body in. Yeah, just confuse everybody. Alright, there she is. So upon my test, the trans didn't seem too bad, but it is kind of a bulky piece, so I probably won't be using it, at least in this application. It takes up a lot of real estate. That's where most of the weight is, though. It's made from recycled calculators and lead. So I can't. The motor mounts to this, and this mounts to the bell housing, right? So if I wanted to ditch the engine, I would either have to make like a plate out of like aluminum or something, probably 3D print an adapter plate to just mount the motor to the plate and then bolt it back to this if I wanted to go that direction. But I still don't know if that would buy me enough real estate to put a servo up front. I don't really want to invest a lot of money into this due to my original investment of $1,100. Original Hilux body. The bed with short topper molded. Yeah, that's a bruiser. So an easy way to tell if it's an original Hilux body, which it sounds like you do. The cab will have Hilux 4-wheel drive molded into the fender, like where the badge would go. And it'll have molded in front marker lights on the fender. I have one of those as well. That I had to, someone like cut the fenders. They like modified the fender flares, and I grafted in another body and blended it. It was kind of fun. It was like a little restoration work. The TF3 was a roaring success. If their goal was to show what a few huge leaps backwards looks like. Yeah, what a shame. It was possibly, I don't know. I got no words. $22 Ironman cool drift truck motor. Yeah, with like 30 turbos sticking out. 1,100 Canadian is like 246 US. Yeah, maybe today. But tomorrow. That's heavy on its own. That's all plastic. Oh, they even threw in some detail no one would ever see or need to see. Like, when you're gonna take the head off, valve covers, and just drive around. I don't have a scale screwdriver. See, like that, why did they need to make internal engine detail? Maybe weight savings. I don't know. All this business. All right. So we put this back. That'll go here. Then we could have more floor room. Speed control can go somewhere else. That servo will go bye-bye, because I'll just, if I keep this trans, I will lock it in low gear and put something better than a 45 turn in it. okay. I think we can make this work. Get out of here. So I can keep this trans. Lock it in first gear. Put the steering servo on the driver's side. And then we can go from there. So this now that we've confirmed it, okay. Oh man, they just tied everything together. One bolt holds the rock slider on, holds the bracket for the steering servo, and then that bracket holds the leaf spring hanger, and my God. We need to save money and use as little fasteners as possible. Yeah, there would definitely be room to mount the steering servo across the front. That would probably be easier. I just actually saw someone do that this week. The crawl space on Instagram. He's been tinkering with his TF3, which kind of led me to want to work on mine. Free trash. Come and get it. I'm probably going to reuse the stock servo though. Until it breaks. Because I mean, you don't want to put like a 700-ounce servo and then break your axle in half. Right? Oh, RC four-wheel drive sells a motor plate for this. I'll have to check their store out, depending on how much it costs. I'll pick that up. Thanks for letting me know. But I might cheap out and try to make my own, like we used to do in the old days. So I can they don't give anything away they can sell you. Yeah, unfortunately. I mean, it's part of running a business. But they kind of make it so blatant. Whether it's intentional or not, they kind mean, they could at least put one of those full interiors on the truck, like this truck, instead of just a dashboard. Yes, I am upgrading my TF3 into a TF2. Like a what do they call it? Retro? Resto? Backdating? Get rid of this stupid rock sliders. So this is the big time. I got spammers. Swampers. That's exactly what I'm going to do too. Well, no, I'm not going to put the Bruiser-Ruptor on. I'm going to try to come up with my own leaf spring mount, which could probably put something that could just attach to the shock mount and put it in the right spot. Same spammer from Harley's. Well, I guess this spammer likes RC truck people. Well, what do we have? I took a truck that worked about an hour ago and turned it into a pile of garbage, a bunch of screws, yeah, I don't think the Bruiser-Ruptor has the same gear ratio as the Yoda 2s do, though, because it was the original design. I think it had a larger ring and pinion, but I could be wrong. I can't remember. So it might not be the same gear ratio, and it doesn't have the same housing look. But anyway, I want to get going. Thanks for everybody for tuning in and sticking with it with the technical difficulties earlier. Thanks for hanging out. I need a drink of water. So until next time, good night.